on, everybody? Welcome back to the M3 podcast. I'm Jayden. I'm here with Davis. We are back for this is the 25th episode, actually.
Yeah, there was a bit of a
Surprising.
break, almost all of October there, but
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. It's been a very, very, very long time. So we have a little bit of a shorter episode for you guys today. What we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about what we've been up to in the past month and stuff. We're going to talk about how Davis's school is going along and his documentary and all that fun stuff. I'm just going to be talking about my streaming and stuff. We're going to be going over the new Call of Duty game, which apparently Davis has played to death. Uh,
for a non-gamer like you, I've
mhm,
been playing a decent amount and trying to spend some time, because trying to catch up on a lot of shows and been
yeah.
playing a little bit for,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Exactly. Oh, I know exactly what show I want to talk about. But we're also going to be talking about the Game Day 2019 that just wrapped up last weekend, which I was a part of again, and we're going to be talking about everything that happened there. So, Davis,
Yes,
how was your past month?
busy slash not busy at the same time.
Oh, interesting.
I say it this way because for our production, so what we do for the main class of this semester is 2030. It's production lab. You literally go in, half of it's divided into like two sections. One is drama, so something that someone wrote and you go and shoot it and everything goes on, and then the other one's documentary. um and every single person in the class has to do, right, which I think I've mentioned before.
Yeah.
But the reason why I say not busy, because that half I was only on, like for myself, I was a grip. I was just there helping out. It was literally just the two filming days that were really important. Like there was a couple days in pre-production for full team meetings and stuff that I had to be a part of, that I helped out and gave suggestions for and everything. But like it was, for the most part, it was just yeah, the days of that were kind of busy for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then, so yeah, because I wasn't in a key role, so it wasn't a whole lot of aftermath for any of that.
Yeah.
But a lot of the big projects I think that I've been really working on have definitely been sound design class, because it's so how Zach has sound design. The very first assignment was soundscape, so that's like the sounds around you. You hear, if you're outside, you hear the wind, the birds, the leaves, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then the next assignment was Foley, so any added noises that you need to go into.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it was the actual score, and now we're working on the ADR. So every assignment you build up, you have to do each piece. So
Mm-hmm.
we're working on ADR. We're working on a scene from Princess Bride. So
Nice. That'll be a
yeah,
lot of
that's good.
fun.
Yeah, it's been interesting because we're not just ADRing the script as is. We have to come up with whole new scenario, whole new scene, what it could be about. So I'm in the process of trying to like write my script for that. And there is one scene, or one part of the scene, where one character's like majorly talking, and it's entire like monologue. So it's gonna be difficult to kind of make it make sense. But
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be also difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think the main thing for me and like a lot of the class that we're definitely concerned about is stressing about our documentaries, because again, 50% of your mark for a class that's required to graduate on something that may not even happen, or not going to turn out how you want it to, or
Yeah, that's really stressful.
especially with as you know, Jorgensen. But
Yeah.
whatever,
Well,
he's that's
yeah, who is it? Alex St. Louis. He posted something in the Discord because right now going on in Alberta, this is a little bit political, but
hmm
this is something we don't usually get into. Alberta's getting huge budget cuts in not
yeah.
just like schools or anything like that. Like schooling is getting a huge budget cut, but also the film industry is getting a huge budget cut. So a bunch of filmmakers and stuff, including our beloved Michael Jorgensen, was in Edmonton and in Calgary
hmm
to talk about that and to basically tell Jason Kenney, hey, fuck off. This is literally not going to do anything except make things worse.
Yeah, exactly. It was originally a $30 or 30% tax credit. Now it's down to 22. So it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna like drive industry away. Yeah, I read about that. It's like, okay, we want people like Dylan Pierce, who's trying to build the film industry in Edmonton, in Alberta in general,
Mhm.
especially in Edmonton, right? Because it's
Yeah.
mostly in Calgary, but and then it's like, oh, companies aren't going to come here anymore to do anything if there's no incentive.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
There's no point. So, uh, and on top of that, tuitions are going to start going up because of the huge budget cuts, which is absolutely ridiculous. So, good luck trying to be a fucking doctor or anything like that. Or
mhm.
one other thing I heard was
And
Nate's digital cinema is actually being shut down in the next few years. Something like that. I don't know.
I that doesn't sound right because I know that I was part of the open house at the start of like on like the 13th or something like that of October.
Oh, you were?
And yeah, I was there and I volunteered for that. And like it was talking about the only thing that was about it was like what you just said was that tuition's going up.
Mhm.
So no, I don't. And I have a feeling that there's a lot of applications. What's happening, according to what Michael told me, is no, I don't think it actually is, but they want to happen is make it more of a actual like selection process. So instead of it just being a first come first serve for when you apply,
Mhm.
it's gonna be more of like a you should have to write like a paper or do an interview or something like that as to what why you want to get into cinema, why you want to get into film.
Yeah.
I don't remember if he was saying that it's going to happen or if he wants it to be like that.
Yeah. Cause
Something like that would make more sense.
one thing that I've noticed from Nate's students, a lot of them don't necessarily have the motivation to actually like keep pushing through sometimes. Because I was talking with Ishmam, one of the students in our communications class, and I remember I was like, I need to get in these classes. He's like, if you find people that are in those classes, ask, hey, can I take your spot for $20? And some of these students will do it because they're like, oh, I don't want to take this class. I can just take it next year or next semester, and I get a free $20 out of it. Like that kind of seems disgusting to me because it's like I worked super hard and I didn't get into this
Yeah.
class. Meanwhile, you really don't give a shit and you're in this class. Like
Hmm.
fuck right off. But who knows? Maybe I think the interview
Yeah.
is actually going to be really really. I don't know if it'll be an interview. I think what it should be is some indication of your process. Like with me, I don't have shit to show sometimes, but I've
Hmm.
made a ton of scripts and treatments and shit. So it's like,
Hmm.
cool, take a look at all of these. This is what I do. And then it's like,
Yeah.
cool, that would be a good reason to have you in. Or if someone is really good at editing, it's like, this video made no sense story wise, but you were really, really good with the special effects. We'll take you in. We'll put you on the
Yeah.
team. That would be
Or like
awesome.
some or like someone like me, I never had experience through high school or anything really. I made one little short film with my friends in high school, but nothing definitely even close to like quality worthy. But I think if they added maybe a two-page or for example essay
Hmm.
saying like why you want to get into it, what's your passion, what do you want to do in the future, like
With it,
and
yeah.
or maybe either or like you have like the option to write a paper or showcase some of your work you've done or maybe both like that would be a good way of narrowing it down so you don't have to just the lazy people exactly like you said they're like taking a program just to take the program like not to
Hmm.
throw Fraser under the bus but he took the first semester. I don't remember if you know him or not but
I know Fraser. He was in
yeah.
our video editing class, wasn't he?
Okay. I think so.
He
Yeah.
yeah, I think I sat the one day he sat next to me. He
Yeah,
usually
he
sat
sat
by.
behind us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know
Yeah.
him, and I
Yeah.
feel like I know where you're going with this story because I kind of know his personality.
Yeah.
But please explain.
Yeah, he's a nice kid. He's a young kid. He's 18 or 19 something like that now.
Hmm.
Um but he literally straight up told me that he took the DMIT digital cinema because he just I like making videos with my friends, right?
Yeah.
So he wasn't motivated to continue on, right?
Hmm.
And it with like you if for example, say for example, he ended up taking continuing into second and third semester or third semester, I mean,
Hmm.
and into cinema, and then now you're not into it because he's taking a class, he's just there.
Hmm.
Like that's what happened. That's the issue with DMIT digital cinema. I
Hmm.
think DMIT in general is that people that aren't interested that are just taking classes fuck over people that are
Yeah.
actually interested in the program.
Well, a lot of it is Nate has a really, really easy acceptance. It's like you said, first come, first serve, and the average for us was like 60%. So as
Hmm.
long as you have this 60%, it's not competitive. So if you have 100%, you could still be shit on by a kid who got 61% and just got his in quicker. So not that that would probably be possible, because if you're a 100% student, odds are you're like fucking on the ball with everything. You have your taxes for the next fucking 5 years already planned out. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, like that's what happened with me. Is like I've told the story a billion times, but I got into NATE by the skin of my teeth. But NATE
Hmm.
has a really really easy selection system, which is first come first serve. You have
Good
money.
and bad thing.
Good, yeah, it's good because
Because
it's like
it was a good thing for me. It was really good for me, but it may be bad for other people.
yeah,
It could,
exactly. It's
yeah.
a balance because like it does allow some people who are like, yeah, I was an underachiever in high school because like, social studies and math, that's not my strong suit. My strong suit is
Hmm.
making movies. And then they are given
Hmm.
this chance or something like that. And with me, I was super happy that I got into NATE, and I don't regret going to NATE like for a second. I really loved going to NATE.
Hmm.
I may have been screwed over and now I want to change it to something else, which is what I'll get into. But I'm really, really happy for the opportunity they gave me because that first month was absolutely amazing because it was like,
That's how we met.
yeah, exactly. We met. I remember the first day of of our class. I looked over and Davis was just like looking around, and our eyes locked, and we're like, "Hey, what's up?" And
Yep.
then yeah, I saw the tattoo.
Oh, yeah,
God,
there it is.
yeah, there you go. The fucking I can't remember the
What is
name.
it? Come
Uh,
on, Jayden. You know what it is.
oh God, no. Uh,
Think of a band.
I'm trying to think of
Punk,
the band.
punk band.
Oh,
Okay, people that know what this logo is, if you're in the chat or Twitter or anything like that, give Jayden heck for not knowing
yeah.
what this
Oh my
logo is.
God. I want to say something United, but it's not United. Oh God. Tell me what it is. Make me feel like an idiot.
I'll give you the first letter.
Which is
R.
uh,
It's two words.
yeah.
First letter of the first word is R. First letter of the second word is A.
Uh,
Okay. It's Rise Against.
Rise Against. Damn it.
Yeah.
That was not where I was. I thought it was something United. But yeah, I saw the tattoo and we basically became friends off of that. And the first
Yeah.
day, Davis was like, yeah. So what class do you have next? I'm like, nothing. I'm going home. See ya. And I left. And
Yeah, we only had what? We only had one class together first semester.
two. We had two. We had communications as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah. Right, right.
Yeah, that was a good time. Uh, but yeah, Nate is a good school, but I do think the DMIT program,
It's
like
broken.
it's a little bit broken. I will say that because one
Hmm.
thing is, of course, just the admissions to get in, but it also has a few other things that need to go along with it. Like a few more classes would be greatly appreciated because the fact that I got cheesed out by other people who might not have been as passionate as me or even as qualified as me.
Hmm.
But in hindsight, like I have no regrets because I'm gonna go to U of A. I'm gonna go be a teacher. Hopefully, if U of A would ever get back to me with my fucking email. I applied literally at 12:30 a.m. the day that
Hmm.
applications opened, and
Oh, well, there you go.
they literally said on the website, "You are the first to apply." So if I don't get this, I'm gonna fucking die. But they have to look at my transcripts and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. Anyways, what else have I been up to? I got a new
Yeah.
computer. I got spent
Yeah.
$2,000 on this fucking thing. Good, good investment. It's really nice. It's a good stable PC setup, so I don't have to keep unplugging and plugging stuff in. I have all the
Did,
equipment, so if I want to bring all of this stuff over somewhere with my
did you
laptop,
build it your Sorry, did you build it yourself?
yeah, so we took apart some of the parts, like we took out the motherboard and the RAM and the graphics and stuff, and then we had the guy put in the processor into the motherboard itself first, because
Hmm.
like we don't fuck around with that. You mess up one thing with the computer, you static shock your computer, you might be fucked. You might have spent $3,000 on nothing. But
Hmm.
we got all of that. We were about to install liquid cooling, which is like one of my favorite things because it lights up and it's liquid cooled. That's super cool. Doesn't fit
Hmm.
with the case. Didn't work. We had to go back, refund it, get a fan, put all of that together. Um, and then once we plugged it all in, we were good to go. And this thing's been running like a beauty ever since. Um,
Well,
yeah, I did that. We'll get into Extra Life in a little bit.
other than your Xbox, I've been seeing on your on Twitter, you've been a little mad at Xbox
Oh, I
lately.
fucking am livid about Xbox. So here's my experience with Xbox. I love Xbox. Xbox 360. My old Xbox 360 is still hooked up over there because my dad likes to play it when he's working out. And guess what? That thing still works. It's been through
Hmm.
hell and back. There is no front panel on it. Like we only have one working controller basically. Everything else is either the analog sticks are broken or the buttons are broken. We still have one good controller on that fucking thing. It
But the
works
but the console itself still
it
works.
works like a charm. We have to take a paperclip to press the eject button for the disc tray, but it
Yeah.
works. This the Xbox One S that I bought 3 years ago, this Xbox One S that I was super excited about, it broke down on me recently. Now I've had a few problems with it where I would hit the power button and no lights would come on, but I would hear the sound, meaning
Hmm.
it
It's
it's it
running.
it's running but it's not on. So
Hmm.
and then I kept hearing that, so I panicked for a second. I was like, okay, that's not a huge deal. This has happened before, and I would keep doing it, and I would see a light for like 5-10 seconds, zoom, shuts off, and I'd do that again, and then shut off, and then eventually I got it to a point where it was like, for it would stay online for 5 minutes. So at that point, I wiped my hard drives clean of it, and tried to install games on it, but as soon as the hard drives were clean, it would just zoom, shut off. I'm like, well, great. Now I have an Xbox One S that doesn't have warranty on it. I can't do anything with this. So what did I do? I had to fucking go on Amazon and buy this Xbox, which has been a piece of shit. Well, okay, the only reason it's been a piece of shit was because of Extra Life. I don't know what has been happening with it at Extra Life and a few other small like bugs and stuff, which I'm pretty sure is just because it's running on Bing. Like,
Ooh.
please, Xbox,
Yeah.
don't run on Bing, run on Google. Literally, if you guys connected, you can make an Xbox Dream Team on your hands. But they won't do that because Microsoft owns Bing.
Because it's Microsoft and Bing. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
They're not
So,
going to switch over to Google.
but when I got home, everything's been working fine. When I was at the arena, whenever I was playing NHL with my buddy Chad, we'd have two wireless controllers. They would just disconnect randomly every 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes, we'd have to reconnect the controllers, switch our teams, and then sometimes it would switch our control schemes around. So if we were on a breakaway and then the controls disconnected and we had to sign back in, and then we tried to shoot,
Which is.
it would switch from the B button to the right trigger, and it's like we're not used to
Oh.
that. Yeah, and it would be such a piss off. So eventually, I worked around it. I just got a USB cord, which I have right here. I just got the micro USB cord. I plugged this thing into the controller, and I let it go, and it was working perfectly fine. But that was
You
hell.
shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to plug into something that like you know. I remember the Xbox 360. You had the wireless controller, but if you wanted to go wired to charge it or whatever, you could. But
Mhm.
like now, everything runs wireless, Bluetooth or whatever. So
Mhm.
like it's if you're for to make your controller work, you have to plug it in. That makes no sense. Like that's yeah, I would understand the super frustration. I
Yeah,
would be pissed at that too.
like it wasn't battery related at all. It's just connection related. I didn't
Yeah.
understand about it because last year when I did this with the PS4, I had two controllers. I had one controller always plugged in only to charge because Sony has the right idea where you don't use batteries, you just have a cable, which I think is a smart idea, but also I
Mhm.
think Xbox has their own smart idea because like micro USBs are no longer becoming a thing. Everything is turning into USB-C ports, like on my phone. It's becoming a USB-C port like this,
Mhm.
where it's all
Mhm.
round. So Xbox is kind of in the right here by having it where you could have batteries or you could plug it in with a micro USB. But it does allow it. You do have to change batteries, and you might be spending money on batteries. But so either way, everything has it. But when I for connection issues, I never had an issue when I was playing on my Xbox.
Mhm.
So, or on my PlayStation, sorry, at the event. So it might have been just because there were so many Xboxes. So when I was walking around, I think every third or fourth person had an Xbox, which was
Yeah.
really, really weird considering PS4 is outselling Xbox by a shit ton. So there you go. We're already getting into the game day stuff, and we're not even at that portion yet.
Come on.
Okay.
Whatever. That's what
Yeah.
you've been doing. So that's kind
Yeah.
of
It's
you can
yeah.
talk. Yeah, transition. Talk a little bit more about it later if you
Yeah.
want. I don't know,
Well,
or
well,
just continue talking about it now. It's up to you.
yeah. Other than that, what else have I been up to? Applying for a new job, going to be an educational assistant at some schools. Um, Other than that, I've basically just been a fat slob, sitting at home eating. potentially have the second coming of pneumonia or whooping cough. Uh,
No dying.
one or the other. Yeah, exactly. Pneumonia is deadly. No, you can die from pneumonia. I never really
Hmm.
like thought about that, but when they were like, "Yeah, you're good. You're free of pneumonia right now, but you should get a shot for it." And I got the
Hmm.
prescription and I was like, fuck it. If I die, I die. I don't really care. But now it's like, okay,
Oh.
yeah, I don't want to die. Please. Dude, I was at that point I was just depressed. I was so sad because I was like, cool. I had pneumonia for like an entire month and I had this and I was dying. I was sitting in the hot tub and it was like 40 degrees and I was freezing cold. That's how I knew I should have like known something was up. And they were like, "Hey Jane, you need to go home and like to rest." So I went home. My parents took me to the hospital. And they're like, "Yep, you have pneumonia." I'm like, "Well, fuck
Mm.
me." Gave me pills, made things worse. Went from the top half of my left lung all the way through to my left lung entirely. I was like, "Fuck me." And then they were like,
Jeez.
"We're gonna try something." So they stuck a needle in me. They stuck an IV in, and they were pumping stuff in. And as soon as they started pumping stuff in, apparently my skin color started changing from white back to normal, and I got my
Mm.
appetite back immediately. Like my
Oh, that's
Oh, it was good. It went from I had a foot-long Subway sandwich and I took one bite and said I was full to I could not stop eating Tim Hortons chili. I just like scarfed it down in the bread. I'm like, I want more. Give me more.
mm.
And
That's
like,
your body recovering.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it was delicious because then my parents like whenever we'd go to the hospital, they're like, Jaden, what do you want to eat now? It's like, Wendy's. They're like, okay, cool. The drive through,
Eh,
dude, go to Wendy's, drive home. And I was like, yay,
nice.
it's good having
And
my appetite back.
I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Good thing we're in Canada. Your parents aren't spending $500,000 to get an IV put in.
I know,
Like,
right?
like,
To go in every day. And it wasn't just like, oh, it was just one treatment. I had to go back for an entire week, day after day,
yeah.
same time, and get this IV stuck in me. And then they would hook
Hmm.
it up, and I couldn't get it wet. So every time I had a shower or a bath, I'd have to stick my arm out like this. I'd have to be like, yeah, can't get it wet, so I would like wash here and like wash everything else.
What?
Yeah, and then maybe I would like wash and I would wash my hands, but I'd have to be careful. And then I would like hop out and I'd have to go like this and then dry everything.
Y- That's like when you go into the scenes of from like SpongeBob when they do the super zooms in or whatever, and it would zoom into your arm. It's just super crust infected.
Yeah,
Just the
exactly,
one
right? Yeah, legit. It was just awful. It was not a good
super
time.
dry.
So remember, kids, don't get pneumonia. Stay in school. Ugh, it's bad. And I know the reason why I got pneumonia. I was working for 7 hours a day at 3 hour intervals, or like 2 to 3 hour intervals, 3 times a day in the water, 6 days a week.
Mm.
It was disgusting, and I got
Yeah.
sick, and I'm like, wow, this
Pool and
really sucks.
yeah, pool water is full of urine.
Yeah, urine and bacteria and stuff. And that's why I've been like taking time off work. Because even with this, it's like, yeah, I don't want pneumonia. I'm terrified of pneumonia again. Because like
Hmm.
the fact that the very thought of
Crimpy.
breathing that hurts,
Yeah.
yeah, breathing hurts, coughing hurts. Literally, you can't function. You're basically just waiting to die. And like
Mm.
I remember a friend from the pool was like, "Hey, are you okay? Like we heard what happened. Just making sure you're okay because like I had an aunt who had pneumonia and she died, and it's like, oh, okay, well, a lot of pressure there, but yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I
kind of
remember
stuff.
when you first told me about it, it reminded me my mom was in the hospital for like three weeks, something like that, because of pneumonia.
Yeah, exactly. Pneumonia is not something you fuck around with. So as soon as I get the chance, I'm going to the hospital if I have pneumonia again. Going to the hospital, I'm gonna say the pills don't work. Give me a fucking IV. I'll stab myself if I have to, and then
Hmm.
I will take the treatments. And then like, cool, we can get you uh, like a resistant or a shot for it. I'll be like, cool, give me the shot right now. Let's do it right here.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't fuck around with that. But anyways, uh, other than that, I've kind of boycotted Hearthstone. I don't know if you've seen all the news that's been going on.
No.
No, so there was a streamer that or there was a pro player that lost all of his money and got banned for a year because he said liberate Hong Kong because of the like global warming and stuff like that. Or the stuff that the government's doing. I'm not 100% sure on it, but he said liberate Hong Kong and stuff, and some of the casters were getting in on that as well. They're like free Hong Kong, liberate Hong Kong. The casters got fired, and the pro player got
Okay.
all of his money that he won from this tournament legitimately, all of the money taken away, and got banned from the pro tournament for a year. and
What the fuck?
everyone was pissed off. Like I've seen streamers who are dedicated only to Hearthstone, and I've seen them grow from like 3 viewers up to like 30 average viewers. Just immediately go, yep, not supporting Hearthstone. They switch to that. Pro streamers and pros like players and stuff like that. They're like, yep, I'm not participating in any of the tournaments until Blizzard makes this right. I've seen the Blizzard employees walk out. Shit's been nuts. So I've kind of just been like, yeah, I don't really enjoy Hearthstone. I'm just gonna stick on my Xbox and play Xbox because that's what I enjoy now. I've literally
Hmm.
spent probably about 100 hours in the past month and a half playing Enter the Gungeon. So yeah, not gonna stop there. It.
Yeah,
I'm not stopping till Enter the Gungeon is 100% complete.
that you're like that for like any almost every game you play. You always try to 100% your
Yes,
games.
but this game, it's like, holy shit, this is a challenge. It's fun and it's adorable. Like, if you don't know what Enter the
Yeah.
Gungeon is a roguelike game where literally everything in the game is bullets. So you take control of a character and the enemies you face are bullets in some fashion. So there's a Gorgon whose name is the Gorgun, or there's like twin bullets or king bullet, or the final boss is a dragon. So it's a dragon but with
Drag gun.
guns. Yeah. So everything is guns. So you could have like a lowercase letter R that shoots the word bullet. You could have a pea shooter. You could have a barrel gun that shoots fish. A pillow that shoots zippers.
What
Like
the hell?
yeah, it's a lot of
That's
fun. The the currency in the game is shell casings. The hearts are literally two bullets. So one is going this way and the other one's going this way, and that's your
mhm.
health. The shields have bullets on them. Uh, literally everything in this game is bullets, and it's amazing. It's such a
So is it meant to be like a plot like what style game is it? And it is my first question. The second question is it like who's it for? Like is it E for everyone? Is it teen? Like what is it meant to be like campy and childish or
Let's take a look at the Xbox Companion app or this app. So, Enter the Gungeon is for everyone 10 and up. It only uses blood and fantasy violence, mild language, and use of tobacco. Those are the only things it has.
okay.
It has a 4.9 rating on the Xbox app, but so it's a roguelike game. So roguelike is you start off with nothing, you build your way up either until you win or you die, and then
Oh, okay.
if you die, you restart. You lose all of your items and you restart the game. Yeah. So, and there's a lot to do in this. So there's secret rooms you can find to get better items. There's chests that you can find new and better guns. There's prisoners that you can free that'll help you out along your adventure and stuff like that. There's a ton of like awesome stuff. It's it's an amazing game, and it's honestly I think going to be like my top game this year because I don't think I've put so much time, love, and effort into a game like I have with this one. I was so excited
Mhm.
when this game came to Game Pass. I was like, let's do it. We got to do this. Yeah, right. So
Golden. There you
golden,
go.
fucking, I love this game. It's a good streaming community too because I had a few people like, yeah, you should do this with it. I had one guy get super angry at me because they're like, if you don't kill this character that's running around not doing anything, if you free him 5 times, you get a new character to play as. I'm like,
Hmm.
ooh, I like this, you know.
So he got mad at you because you didn't listen to him right away or like
I
or
got mad
because
at.
you didn't know it?
I didn't know and I killed him, and then he explained it to me, and I'm like, ah, well, I feel like a dick.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But speaking of shooter games that are fun, we're going to talk about the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the impressions of it. So,
Yeah.
just to clarify, Davis has put in way more time than I have because I've only played 2 games of
Oh,
Modern
wow.
Warfare. That's it, 2 games.
That's rare.
Yeah.
Me playing a game more than you.
Mhm.
What is this?
Yeah, I got this game
What?
for free when I bought my computer parts, and I didn't.
What?
Yeah, like, dude, spend $500 on a processor and you get Modern Warfare for free. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, there.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Understandable. Yeah.
so I want to start with my impressions first because mine are pretty simple.
Yeah.
It looks like Battlefield. It plays like Battlefield. I don't like that.
Yeah,
That's
because I
that's it.
remember when we did the review of the trailer, you weren't liking it.
No, it's I like the sounds. I like the art style. But it's so Battlefield esque. Like the ground wars, it's like cool. There's 5 objectives, like there was in Battlefield 1. Like you're looking for these
Mhm.
objectives, you could get sniped from any direction. You could take over like helicopters and planes and
Tanks and yep.
tanks, and it's just like it kind of is losing itself to the identity of Call of Duty, which was a boots on the ground, gotta go fast, like run in and kill enemies. And if you get flanked from behind, it's because probably somebody was really good or your team is just dumb. Not that you were running in the streets and you got sniped by some dude who's camping on a roof because nobody could get
Yeah,
to the higher roof,
but
kind of
that's the
thing.
same thing with what they did previously with Blackout when they were trying to compete with
Fortnite.
PUBG and Fortnite. Yeah,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
So like that's what so everyone was doing that style. So Call of Duty did it as well,
Mhm.
and now they know that people like those large maps, those large things. It's not the same idea of like having to fly in and land like whatever of Fortnite and PUBG or whatever, but
Yeah.
or and there's no shrinking or anything like that of the map size, but
Mhm.
yeah, but then then again it is very much like Battlefield of getting on the roof, going through, driving vehicles and what
Mhm.
have you.
Did you
I still don't think it's as big. It's a ground war still isn't as big as Battlefield though.
No, not by a long shot. And
Yeah.
especially because I think the kill streaks really help with the like small intensity of it.
Hmm.
Because what was it? Like with Battlefield, you could get like three planes right off the bat and you could see them flying overhead. But with Modern Warfare, it seems like you can get like one or two tanks and then maybe like a chopper that doesn't have
Yeah.
any guns on it, and then you can fly
Yeah.
around until you get kill streaks, and then
Yeah.
it's it becomes a fuck fest.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that there's the only thing there is for ground war is the tank. Yeah, the tanks have turrets and a cannon, obviously. But
Mhm.
yeah, there are no planes. Yeah, exactly. The helicopters are just transport helicopters, and then there's like a jeep.
Mhm.
So it's a mix. It's not as intense as Battlefield, but
Mhm.
and there's still. But I noticed that especially if you're sniping, there is still bullet drop like Battlefield did if you're far enough away.
Mhm.
um, I don't know if I haven't noticed that so far in regular multiplayer, like regular team deathmatch or whatever. I
Mhm.
don't think there is, but I'm not much of a sniper anyway. But well, the one sniper that you get is really good, actually.
Mhm. Which is
Um,
really interesting because they usually save that stuff for the later on. Because
yeah.
I remember getting into games and I would just get curb stomped by someone who had everything unlocked. Like I played with a buddy of mine who was level 86. He was just cleaning house with his guns, and I'm just sitting here like, what is this gun? And I would just like reload, and I would get like one kill, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I got a kill, guys, woohoo! Like
Hmm.
I was just like such a noob, but when I played it, I was just like, I really don't care for this. It's literally like every other Call of Duty. It's sorry, it's not every Call of Duty, like every fucking Battlefield game. So
Yeah.
I personally don't
See,
enjoy it, but I've heard it's like from other people, they really love that.
yeah. See, I'm on the other side of the fence of that. I like it. I really like this play. It's a little more quote unquote realistic
Mhm.
because like there's not as many like people running down quick scoping, no scoping with snipers and stuff like that. It doesn't you don't get as many like uh one shot kills and stuff like that. It's not as pissed off. It's not as annoying. Oh,
Yeah,
hit markers. That's the word I was looking for. It doesn't.
there
You
you
don't
go.
get a shit ton of like hit markers or like in the Black Ops series where you go in and then you heal yourself, come around the corner, and then you kill the guy that's in the process of reloading. Right? Like
Mhm.
it still has the flow of Call of Duty, but not as um I don't know. It's like I've always liked the Infinity Ward versions better compared to like the
Treyarch,
Treyarch
yeah.
versions. Um, so I like this. I It still bugs me. I don't get why companies are doing this, just coming up with a new gaming, naming it something the exact same. Like because I
Mhm.
still have Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, like the remastered version from
Yeah.
2016. I still
Mhm.
have that and I still play that. It's still fun too. But it is that, yeah, the running, like you run up, lift your gun up if you're running for long enough or whatever, just like in Battlefield, the motion is slightly different compared to Call of Duty. Like I normally play like uh on like I don't know, 10 or 12 sensitivity, but because this one is a little more realistic, again, quote unquote, I
Mhm.
have to play a still even higher, up to almost 14 sensitivity, so I can actually move as fast as I'm used to moving.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. It's and for once, holy shit, shotguns actually like work.
I've heard shotguns in
Like
this game are busted.
oh, like it depends on which one you use, and because some of them it's shotguns. Call of Duty, you've never, no matter what Call of Duty you play, you've never been able to use a shotgun properly. Either you're really close and it does almost no damage, or you're super far and it does more damage when you're further away, which kind of makes no sense. But it's a little more accurate to like the distance. Like it'd be instead of being here is the damage range, it's like here,
Hmm.
and it sometimes can take like two hits or maybe one depending on what you're doing. But
Hmm.
I've never been good with them anyway, so I still don't use them.
Yeah.
Um, but I like the it doesn't take forever to level. Like I've been playing, I normally take for months to level, and I've played since it came out, which was the 25th till now, and I've only been playing here and there back and forth, and I'm up to level 23.
Hmm.
So by
That's not
normally
bad.
I'd only be like level like 10 or at the most maybe level 10 for the
Hmm.
amount of time that I've been playing. It's a little more difficult to, a little easier to level,
Hmm.
and yeah, I don't know. And like I like the one thing that's probably my one of my favorite things is that they kind of incorporated what they had in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, where you could have more than one attachment. Like you could have like a silencer and a red dot or whatever.
Yeah.
But like there's full weapon customization on this, and it goes into like pros and cons of having this attachment compared to none at all,
Hmm.
right? So I really like that you can actually it's like yeah, you'll have this better aim, but your aiming speed will be slower
Yeah.
or
It's a
something like
much
that,
more
right?
like customizable thing.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
focusing on the weaponry because of course you can customize your character still. Like there's I think six characters each for each faction to like unlock, but like
Hmm.
as I said this before, I don't really care.
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything with the gameplay, but the actual gun customization for is a lot better. I really like that.
Hmm. Exactly. Well, that's awesome to hear. I'm glad like the Call of Duty faithful like yourself, like they are really enjoying it. I
Hmm.
have heard some like good and bad things. Like I heard one of the shotguns is basically a sniper, but that's not
Yeah,
a new concept to Call of Duty. I remember in Black Ops 1, the KS or Black Ops 2, sorry, the KSG was absolutely disgusting.
yeah, or
That's
the AA-12 in
Modern Warfare
Modern
2.
Warfare 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How many Modern Warfares are there now? There's the first one, the
there's
second one, the third one, the remaster,
and
and this one.
yeah,
So five.
yeah.
So next game better be Modern Warfare 6, otherwise it's not going to be chronologically
Yes,
correct.
exactly. But I see I'm playing a bit of the campaign. I'm going back and forth between multiplayer and campaign, going back. So
How's the
I like
campaign?
it's good. Like so far, it's it's freaking difficult. I originally put it on the second hardest difficulty,
Hmm.
and then I was like, and they make it because again, it's like more realistic. So the very one of the very first missions you're going through, and you're kind of in this train yard or whatever, and
Hmm.
like the only and it's nighttime. The only way you can see people shooting at you is with their flashlights attached to their gun,
Oh wow.
and like I died probably three or four times in the very first mission in that exact same section because someone I saw that guy, I saw his flashlight, killed him, and killed this guy, and then someone else comes from behind me because I thought I was hidden, but someone he was right there. But
Oh.
it's difficult, but so I was like, hey, do you know what? Fuck it, I'm getting pissed off. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at this game, but you know what? I'm going down to an easier difficulty level because this is pissing me off.
Fuck you,
But
video game.
yeah, exactly. I'm as I've said made many times before. I'm not a gamer. I'm a casual gamer, right? I just
Hmm.
play.
Casual
So,
gamers are still gamers.
um, but yeah, I like it. It's and it's not. Oh, that was the other thing I was thinking of that I was playing the other day is that it's not just guys spawning and spawning and spawning. Like if you kill all the guys and your AI, they actually kill some of the guys for you. It's instead of just
Wow. They're
it's
actually
yeah,
not useless.
yeah, they're actually not useless. It's a lot better, and of course, it still has to wait until you move forward for the story to continue, which is how anything like that is. But
Hmm.
um, like they actually kill some of the guys for you and it actually moves forward. You actually know where you're going, and yeah, I so far I'm liking both the campaign and the multiplayer. Ground War, I only want to play ground war when I actually have at least one person playing with me. Like
Hmm.
it's super difficult to play ground war when you're playing by yourself because you can't decide where you're going, what's going on, where the map is, if you're taking a vehicle or anything like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, so far I'm really liking it.
Yeah, that's good to hear, man. Because I had not really been enjoying it, but that's like because I've played two games and I'm mostly focused on Xbox stuff. Speaking of, I
Yeah.
wanted to say two things. One, I thought we killed Fortnite. Fucking, it was so sad to see it come back. I was like, Fortnite 2. It's like, no!
Oh, it's a fit. Oh, wow.
It's a
Okay.
new thing. And apparently Fortnite 2 is ridiculous. I saw somebody by the name of Laserbeam. He didn't even actually fully play the game. All he was doing was sitting in this irradiated river, which would keep healing you and giving you shields. And he was fishing. And he made it to like top 5 every single game. Like, yeah, like he didn't kill anyone. It's like, wow, that's a really shitty mechanic, but
That's broken.
hmm. But one game that I wanted to talk to you about, you know the movie World War Z and the book.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, I
so
remember the movie. Yep.
they made a game based on it, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is the greatest game ever." Fuck no, it's an awful game. We played it on easy mode, we still couldn't beat it. Like, you know how in easy mode it's like if there's a ton of enemies, they won't do literally any damage, and you can just like lay into them.
Walk in and just stab randomly or
Hmm.
whatever. Yeah.
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 Well, apparently that's not how it works because apparently changing the difficulty doesn't do anything. It was literally like I took the same amount of bullets to kill them. They still did the same amount of damage, and I still had the same amount of ammo on all my guns. Like, what
And the same
exactly have
amount
I
of
done wrong?
enemies. Did you have to maybe quit the entire campaign altogether and restart from that instead of just changing it mid
I
level?
no, I we tried. We switched campaigns. We switched different missions. We switched difficulties. Didn't do a thing. We thought we could play it on
Oof.
normal. We're like, okay, maybe normal is a bit too presumptuous. And I understand why it's difficult because it's like, oh yeah, you're the last remnants of society, or you have to like survive or whatever. It's like, yeah, but Left 4 Dead did that, and when we played it on easy mode, we can make it through with just pistols. This game,
Hmm.
we have a rocket launcher. We have one guy with an LMG because there's like a class system. It's like we have people with med kits, flashbangs, stimulants. We have people with LMGs, shotguns, pistols, a rocket launcher, mortar strikes. We could have someone with a helicopter. We still couldn't win. Like
Jesus
it's
Christ.
it's that bad. But I refuse. I refuse to touch that game for now.
Yeah, because I remember from the movie, like, there was literally, like, millions of zombies and stuff like that, and I remember they're, like, intelligent, like, zombies, because from the movie, I remember the scene where they're in, like, a tower-high wall or whatever, and they're all climbing up on top of each other, so there's, like, so many.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what they do here. There's
Yeah.
uh there's moments in the game where you have these electric traps that you can place on the ground. So if you die, it's like Game of Thrones where the like zombie walkers or whatever, they like flop on top of each other to make the bridge
Yeah.
across.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep,
Yeah,
yeah, I
it's
remember that. Yep.
exactly like that. It's like they're that intelligent.
Mm.
So
But
it's it's a fucking really good concept done really badly. So
it's too difficult.
it's too bad. Yep.
Like Dark Souls level difficulty
It's yeah, like if Dark Souls had a difficulty like
setting.
Dark Souls difficulty is equal to the easy difficulty on this game. Let's just say that. It's
I've
that
never
dumb.
Okay, I've never played Dark Souls, but I just know that it's notorious for being one of the most difficult games
Hmm.
like ever. So
It's
you're saying that this game is more difficult than Dark Souls?
I will for comparing it on easy mode, yeah, pretty much.
Jesus
Considering
Christ.
considering because in Dark Souls you don't start with anything other than starting items, which are pretty terrible, and you have to
Mhm.
find and buy new items on the way. And there's like tons of strategies. It's like if you shoot this dragon with a bow like 100 times, it drops you this really cool sword. Or like if you get hit with poison, you're basically dead, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But with this game, it's like cool. You're giving all of the advantages, which is a like shotguns, rocket launchers, LMGs, turrets, traps, med pack. You're giving all of this, and you're still getting shit on. That's no.
That
That's
brings the
not
gate.
okay.
Yeah, that
That's
turns the fun level way down.
exactly. You're literally not having any fun whatsoever. But yeah, that was that. I'm fine with playing Enter the Gungeon and Black Ops 4 because that's my jam. I am a
Mhm.
huge zombies fan, and even though zombies has been getting difficult over the past few months, with like spawns and damage and stuff like that, it has been getting better.
Hmm.
So that's that. We're gonna leave that at that. Let's move on to
Fair enough.
the last topic of today, which is Extra Life. That happened.
Con- Continuation
May
from
contin-
earlier.
a continuation from earlier, exactly. So I have all of the things on my computer actually right now. So Extra Life Game Day 2019. So what? If you guys don't know, last year I participated in Extra Life Game Day 2018 with my buddy Stranger. So we were playing Call of Duty and Hearthstone for 25 hours straight. And when I say 25 hours straight, I mean 25 hours straight. This year we got to like 19 hours, 20 hours, and we gave up. Like it
Oh.
was it was really really bad. So
Mm.
here's a recap of how this event started. We got there at 12:20. Like my buddy drove up from Calgary at like 8 in the morning, 7 or 8 in the morning, and he made it all the way to my house. We went and grabbed some sandwiches, some snacks and stuff like that, some drinks, put it all in a cooler. So we had a cooler and a duffel bag filled with snacks. So I brought like 3 bags of chips myself, and my parents gave us some pretzels. I actually have the jar here. So we got like a giant thing of pretzels and some chocolate bars, and we brought our own drinks and stuff like that. And I brought my entire computer setup plus my laptop. So I brought 3 monitors, a keyboard, a mouse, my Xbox, my Elgato, my desktop, literally everything. We got
Jesus Christ.
we got there at 12:20. I will say this: Extra Life, getting into the event was super easy. So they had check-in times, but what you could do is you could sign the waiver online. You could print off, sign the waiver, just show up, show them your waiver, show them your ID. You're good to go. It wasn't
Hmm.
like you were getting checked off of anything. So I
Yeah,
went.
that makes it fast. That's good.
Yeah, it was really good. So we went in. My dad helped us bring all the stuff in. So we got to the front of the line, which there was no line. There's like 2 or 3 people in front of us. So we walked in, gave them our waivers, showed them our ID. They gave us wristbands. We showed them our tickets. We went in. We grabbed these super cool swag bags, which had like a Stollery Rubik's cube and some coupons and stuff like that. And we went to our spot and we were set up. And they were like, right now, please don't turn on the power, or please don't plug in your power. Please don't plug in your Ethernet. So we're like, okay, whatever. Chad was looking through his bag. Chad has an original Xbox One, like the old black big ones. He
Hmm.
forgot his power cord in Calgary.
Oh shit.
So it was like, well, there's a lot of stuff in this mall. Go check some of those stores. So he's like, yep, for
Yeah.
sure. So
I was just gonna say, good thing you're in a mall.
yeah, so here's the thing. He went to Microsoft, didn't have them for some odd reason. Apparently they're only endorsing the newer models, which makes sense. But he went there, went to an old EB Games, didn't have it. Went to a place called Game City, which sells a bunch of old games and stuff. They were
Hmm.
like, "Yes, we have the cord, but you have to buy the entire Xbox." He's like, "Can I leave you my ID and I borrow this because otherwise I don't have anything?" He's just like, the guys are like, "Nope, sorry." He's just like, oh, "I'm fucked, dude. I can't do anything." I'm like, "Hold on, let me call some people." So I called my parents and then I called Shannon because we're back together now. I didn't mention
Oh
that. Yeah,
no.
and
What?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So anyways, Shannon, I was like, "Can we borrow? We know we have one of those other Xboxes. Can we borrow your power cord?" She's like, "Yeah, for sure." So my parents went, picked it up, brought it back. Thank God for them. They were lifesavers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My my parents wouldn't have done that.
yeah. My parents were super helpful with that, and they were like, "Hey, here's the power cord, and here's some pretzels." I'm like, "Why did you get us pretzels?" He's like, "Well, we just bought
Snacking.
pretzels." Yeah, exactly. So we got that. They're like, "Kate, you have power now." So we powered everything up. Apparently, the Extra Life guy who was supposed to help with the internet called and they had a miscommunication and they weren't able to get internet until about 3:30 and the event started at 2. Oh, it was bad and it wasn't just that. Apparently someone was DDoSing the website. So for
What does that
those
mean?
DDoS is direct denial of service. So they were
Oh.
basically sending useless packets of information to the website trying to crash it. And it ended up with a lot of bad things. First off, the website didn't work. Second, donations didn't work. And third, the internet didn't work. So as soon as we got that going, the internet's still having issues for about an hour. Like my stream would come in and then disconnect, then in and then disconnect, and it was really
Mm.
annoying. So and then my Xbox was having issues, and Chad's Xbox was having issues, and it was just a mess. So by 5 o'clock we were all up and running. and I was getting donations, and I had a lot of fun. Like there were some people that hosted me and rated me and sent me money and all of this good stuff. So that was a lot of fun. Until my brother, he sent me a picture. He was like, "Yeah, I got charged $300. Even though I only spent like a $25 donation."
What?
Yeah, the Extra Life, the Extra Life website charged him for a lot of money.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but other than that, it was a really fun event. I remember,
Once it got up and going.
yeah, once it got up and going, they had a lot of good stuff. So Orange Julius was nice enough to provide like smoothies and stuff for everyone throughout the event. So they were like, grab some smoothies and some snacks and stuff like that. And they even had like, so I'm wearing this Soldier 76 t-shirt. They have like these, they're kind of like workout shirts. They're really, really nice quality. They had a bunch of them on this table and they were giving some away for free. And I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty
Can't
cool.
complain about that.
Can't complain about it, no. But what I didn't know is you could just go up and take all of them. You could take as many as you wanted.
Hmm.
So I walked up and there were like three people that are like looking and I'm like, how much does this cost? And they're like, oh, the person that was just here just said you could take all of them. Like a staff member just said you could take as many as you want. So I was like, free shirts? And this is really good stuff. So I was
You didn't
literally,
get me one?
I have some if you want them, but I've worn all of them.
Totally kidding.
Ugh,
You
but
do that and then put our logo on it.
dude, I wish. But there were like so many good shirts. I got like 9 or 10 free shirts, and that was a lot of fun. And then they had pizza and they had breakfast. And what are some of the other things they had? They had a Tetris 99 tournament, which I went to participate in. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
win. I didn't win by a long shot, but it was still fun to get up there and just be like, yeah, I was better than half of the people that played. Because it was like, holy moly, it was embarrassing watching some of these guys. But it was a lot of fun. And
Still fun. It's for the fun, whatever.
yeah, and then during the end of the event, they have a marbles event. So it's a online Twitch user game. So everyone would go onto the Extra Life uh, Twitch page, and they would hit exclamation point play, and you would get your name put on a marble, and then your marble would just go down this giant track, and if you won, you would get a prize. So Chad and I, my buddy, we both won. So he won like a Republic of Gamers notebook and a T-shirt and some other cool stuff, and I won like a keychain and a lanyard and a shirt and a Doctor Who poster, which I still haven't opened yet. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a really well done event. The only thing that I could say I'm really really disappointed in is um, the actual the internet stuff. Of course, was a disappointment, but we didn't get nearly as many viewers or nearly as many donations as last year. Because I remember at some point we had like 30 concurrent viewers, or even at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. there was 18 concurrent viewers at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Are you talking about just you or as the event as a whole?
just as me, just as me.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I thought of like the incentives were really really good. I thought we had a really good game plan because we were like, cool, we're gonna play some NHL first, and then when that wasn't working, we're like, cool, we'll just play some Gungeon because like he can play on his thing and I can play on mine.
Mm-hmm.
We were all working together and stuff like that, and we would play some Black Ops Zombies, and then just like, cool, when we were done playing zombies for one round, when we got tilted, we go back to Gungeon, and then we go back to Black Ops, and then back to Gungeon, and I honestly thought we were going to raise a lot more, but I'm happy with what we raised. We raised about $300. So, in our Discord, link will be in the description. If you would like to vote on what color you want my hair to be, let me know. The overwhelming majority vote so far is white. I
Mm-hmm.
have two people for white, one person for a white red combo like an anime character, and the other one is baby shit green is the way he describes it, which is
Baby
Chad.
shit.
And someone else wanted me to go bald, and I said if we got $1,000 instead of dyeing my hair, I'd go bald. So
So that's what your incentives were instead of push-ups this year.
yeah, so the
You have
incentive,
to do over 500 push-ups.
no, no 500
Hey,
push-up.
hey, I tried to help you with those quote unquote last
The
year.
how many did you do?
I sent you a video of me doing I think 30 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, 25, 30, something like that.
Yeah.
But no, the incentives this year were at $250 Canadian. This is all Canadian. I would dye my hair whatever color Twitch chat wanted me to. Not many people were gonna vote on Twitch chat, so I decided to just host in a Discord. At $500, I was gonna buy a Nintendo Switch Lite and two video games. and then go give them to a kid at the hospital. At $750, I was gonna do a K-pop dance routine on stream, even though I never had practiced it. I
Hmm.
was literally just gonna do it and just try it. Like, you know how people play Just Dance and they have no idea what they're doing? Yeah,
Hmm.
literally me. Um, $1,000, I was gonna shave my entire head. I was gonna go bald. And at $1,500, I was gonna get a tattoo. So
Ooh.
yeah, we did not get any of those donation goals besides the first one, which was still
First one.
super. Yeah, it's still
Still
super
better
nice.
than nothing.
Yeah, exactly right. And
Yeah.
it was really good. We had a lot of people, and we did a lot of work trying to raise awareness for this. We had people. We were talking with people. We made a video about it. We made a newspaper article. All of this stuff. So
Hmm.
I'm kind of disappointed, but all of that work it just wasn't like 100% exactly what we I was expecting. So I was expecting a lot more
I
traction and stuff.
I think, as I was saying before we started here, I think part of it is like because you're friends with like Earl and Brady, Austin, and them, right? Did you talk to them directly? Because they're obviously more into gaming than like cinema because they're actually in gaming or animation or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, because I remember a big part of it, like last year, a big part of it probably for you, reason why money came in was because you had a chance to go into classes and do a presentation. Like, you use part of class time for communications and for another class, I think it was editing or something like
Yeah, we
that.
did digital
Yeah,
suite, and I was gonna
yeah,
do it in a lot of other classes, but I just didn't have the appropriate resources and stuff.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like but even though you did the video, but that shows the difference of actual personal engagement. Even though like going out in person, you did. I think you talked about it and you did Discord and stuff like that last
Hmm.
year as well. You did this year, but the personal engagement of talking to people, having presentations, because you got money day of when you did the presentations. I remember last
Yeah.
year, so
Yeah.
honestly, in what I can think of is the big difference, like a $200 difference, like just with going out actually in person, having that opportunity of talking to classes and stuff like that,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. That's one thing I noticed, and the other thing that I was thinking about was the incentives weren't nearly as entertaining live as they would have been last year. Because last year they were it was push-ups. Everyone was like, "Oh God, he's gonna be in so much pain. This is gonna be hilarious." And it
Yeah,
was
push up
like,
and crunches. Yeah.
yeah, and I was like, okay, after this game, I'll do more push-ups, and then people would come and watch me do the push-ups, and then it's like, cool,
Hmm.
then they leave, and then they do the same thing over and over again. With this one, it's like, cool, once we hit those goals after the stream, I will do something, you
Hmm.
know. So I can't be too disappointed by it because we still did awesome, and like it also sucked because we only made it to 20 hours instead of the full 25. We left at 10, and apparently the event ended at 12, so we were like
Oh.
only a few hours off, but it was
Hmm.
still a big disappointment for me. But I knew like Chad needed sleep, and I was really tired. Like my eyes were burning, like my eyes were about to fall out of my head. It's a hard challenge. Everyone's like, oh yeah, 25 hours, it's fine. And I was getting
Oh.
shown up by like 12-year-olds that came. They were just playing together and I was like, I'm not surprised I'm getting outshone by these kids because, let's face it, they have so
Kids
much
have
energy.
energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I remember like during weekends when I was their age, I would stay up until like 3 a.m. playing Halo Reach, and then I would go to sleep, and then I would come back out at 7 a.m. to beat my brothers down to the Xbox. And it's like, oh, if I'm tired, oh well. Then I get my
Hmm.
first chance to play, and then I'll fall asleep, and then I'll come back later, and it'll be
Oh yeah.
fine. Yeah,
Oh yeah. At that age, you have a lot of energy and everything like that.
yeah.
Um. Yeah, that'd be difficult even for like, even if it, for example, if it was movies or something like that, right?
Mhm.
Like that, I think that would be even more difficult because you're not doing anything engaging, right?
Yeah.
Because gaming, you at least have to pay attention and focus on it. Where if you're watching, like, say if you did like the Lord of the Rings, was anthology or whatever, because it's total 6 movies, so whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's like 25
Like,
hours or something. It's a
yeah,
huge trilogy.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you count the extended cuts and everything like that, but if you yeah, you watch the extended cuts of all 3 movies plus the extended cuts of the Hobbit movies, like, that's almost the entire time right there.
Mhm.
But that's just sitting watching the movie compared to playing a game where you're have to pay attention to what's going on and have to stay alive or whatever, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that
I remember
that
near the end,
was
the last hour and a half, I was watching the extra life stream, just watching the marbles go, because I was like, I'm just so done. Please, just, oh, I'm ready
what
to go to bed.
what would the tattoo would if you did get all the way to the 1500? What would the tattoo would have been?
So it would have been the either choices were like a dragon on my shoulder, or I was gonna do something in memoriam of the Stollery, which would be like the Stollery teddy bear or something like that.
The
Uh,
game or the game day, the actual game day logo, so it's a gate like a controller.
yeah, like the extra life
Yeah,
logo or something like that. That would be really
yeah.
cool.
That
So
would have, yeah.
it would have made sense. And then it's like if it would have said like 2K19 underneath it, that would have been super awesome. But
Mm.
yeah, not
Hey,
not today. Not today. Maybe
you
next
can
year.
still get it.
Next
Yeah.
year. Like going to the U of A, I know a lot of people are gonna probably be like, yeah, this is actually really impressive. Even though I'm probably gonna be way more swamped than I ever was at NATE. But
Most likely university. Yeah, I know. I know people that go to U of A and it's like holy shit. Like I'm talking to them about my schooling and they're talking to me about theirs and they're fucking like they get midterm exams and stuff like that like within the first month of school. It's like
yeah,
like
it,
yeah, no.
I never really understood why they're called midterms if they're in like the beginning or end of the semester. Like
Yeah.
like midterms should be reserved for like in between August and November because that's the middle of that semester. Or what is it, January to April? So like February, March, in between there. That's when midterms happen. Before that, it's like a test. It's just a test. I don't
Hmm.
see it as a midterm. I see it as a test.
Yeah, my midterm for 2013, which is cinematography, it was only 10% of my grade.
Yeah, and
I
like
barely passed it, but
it's 10%.
yeah,
C's get
not
degrees, dude.
yeah. Hell,
Yeah.
I don't care.
All that
I just
matters
need
is
I
that you
just
have
need
a passion.
yeah, I just
Eh,
need a D minus.
There you go.
That's a 50. Give me
There,
my D minus. That's all I need.
there you
I
go.
know what I'm doing. Yeah, as long as I meet the people. Hey,
Yeah, D's get degrees. And like, yeah, that's a.
these kind of D's too. No.
Oh my god. Davis, you can't say stuff like that. This is the internet. People will get offended.
Yeah, that freaking YouTube is doing all kinds of censoring nowadays with
I haven't seen too much
content.
news about that. I've seen a lot more news about other stuff like Fallout 76 and Overwatch 2, Blizzard. I even just saw this one. Microsoft Japan proves that a 4-day work week is better for everyone.
Oh, they're finally getting rid of some crunch time and burnout and stuff, helping
Yeah.
finally realizing it. That's been a big topic that a lot of people in the game design stream have been talking about lately. Burnout and crunch time.
Mhm. It's apparently according to Microsoft Japan, it makes employees happier by as much as 40%. So,
Yeah, I believe it brings it down quite a bit. Yeah, that brings stress levels way down. Even cutting out that one day.
mhm.
Fuck yeah, that'd be
Because
dope.
yeah, because like, let's. What are you gonna do with it? You're like, what do you do? You literally are just sitting there doing nothing day after day, and then you're just like waiting for the weekend, and then it's short lived. Meanwhile, with this, it's like, oh, okay, I can get a few more. Like, I can put in more crunch time now, or I can work way harder now, and then later on, everything's
Yeah,
fine,
yeah.
kind of thing.
Have that Friday, Saturday, Sunday instead of just the Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah,
Like
exactly, right?
yeah,
So it's a good stuff. I'm excited to see if it'll actually make its way over to America and Canada because I would think Canada would probably practice with something like that.
I don't know. I don't know anything how it works with the gaming industry, but I know it's very particular with like the film industry. It's based off of get paid by the day.
Mhm.
So if you're doing a 10-hour day, like if you're doing a 3-hour day, it's equivalent to a 10-hour day, which I guess is good. But then if you're doing a 10-hour day, it's also if you're doing a 14-hour day, then that makes it long and
Mhm.
tiring. So
Exactly right.
I don't know how it's good how and it depends on the film. Each like the film industry is very different compared to any other industry.
Industry.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's paid by the day. It's paid and it's paid based off of the budget of the film. There's no set salaries for like it's this film. It's if it's a $20,000 film, you get paid $50 a day compared to if it's a $2 million film, you get paid $500 a day, whatever, right? So it all
Yeah,
depends on the budget. It's very,
it's very finicky. Yeah, that
yeah,
that's
finicky. That's a good word of using. Yeah.
that's why I kind of like have dropped out of working in the film industry. It's like it's not that I don't have a passion for it, and it's not that I don't enjoy making stuff. It's like one, I don't have the talent for it. Let's be completely honest. Like the old stuff that I used to make when I was in when I was out of high school, they weren't the best quality. They were just fun to make, and I
Hmm.
was like, I want to do my best, but also like it's really time consuming because it could take anywhere from 5 minutes to make this effect to if you don't know what you're doing, it could take 2 hours, which could feel like 14 hours of stress and tiring. And it's
Hmm.
just like, why would I do that when I can just have my entire life be stressful and just go
Yeah.
work with children and go like some kid is gonna flip me off at school one day and I'm gonna be like, yep, I deserve to die. Yep, exactly.
Teachers don't exactly have stress-free lives.
No, they do not. But it is a very rewarding life, and I think teachers should get paid more than athletes. Just gonna say that right now.
Yep, I
I
agree. Same thing with military.
Military should
But
get paid more, and they should have way more benefits. The fact that
yep,
there's so many homeless, like, have you ever seen a homeless athlete? Not really.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to homeless in general, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. But have you really like when you think of a
Thought about it.
when you think of a homeless person, what comes to your mind first? Like besides like drugs and alcohol addictions,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
what kind of employment would they have before going homeless?
um,
Because my mind
I
goes
don't know,
immediately to
definitely.
the military. Because I
Oh
see,
yeah, I get. Like, yeah, you always see like the in the U.S. like Vietnam vet or whatever.
mm-hmm,
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
I honestly thought like I know that actually apparently a big thing is like bankers too,
Really?
because they or not bankers like investors go and invest a lot invest their money and stuff like that, and then they go in and then they lose it, and then they lose bankruptcy, and then they lose their house, and
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Like
yeah,
investors
apparently.
like roll the dice on everything. It's
But
absolutely ridiculous.
anyway, this is a long rabbit hole that we don't need to
Yeah, I know, right?
go down.
It's the classic M3 of going down a fucking rabbit hole we don't need to go
Yeah.
to. But yeah, that's a huge issue, and a lot of the reason that I wanted to switch to education was a lot of job security. Like males have an
Hmm.
easy time getting into the education industry because like it's a female dominated faculty. So being a male is very sought after, and being an
Hmm.
elementary male that could potentially know French in the future is very sought after in Canada. So
Hmm.
I am definitely gonna 100% take French when I'm in university, even though it's gonna kill me.
Parlez-vous français?
We and it's gonna kill me, but I want to do it because I've always wanted to learn French and speak with my grandparents and
I'll help you.
my mom and stuff. Oh, merci,
De rien.
merci, merci
Um,
beaucoup. But
um,
that's
yeah,
just the
and that's
reason
kind of
why
like
I did it.
the
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of like the opposite of the film industry right now. The film industry, like, it's hard for a white man to get into the film industry, kind of in Canada right now. Like, obviously, if your story is really good, your work is really good, it shouldn't matter regardless. But they're trying to get women and people of color and transgender and stuff like that. So the like white man, because that's what it's been around for forever, right, is gonna
Hmm.
be a little more difficult.
Yeah.
So
And
I don't know.
yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna let my work show for itself.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a huge thing. I like having a job where I prove myself, but I don't want myself to be reliant on proving myself because one day I could be the best, and then the next day I could be told to fuck right off because someone else did the exact same thing but way better, right?
Hmm.
Because like I see people and they're like, "Yeah, I never went to film school. I just learned all of this stuff off of the internet." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Wow, yeah,
yeah.
that's a kick in the pants because like it took me
And
forever to learn how to cut a video together, let alone make an effect that took like would take me like about 8 years to make." Especially with me being very anal about stuff because I have to make sure everything's like perfect. It's like it needs to look like this, otherwise it's awkward. Or sometimes I'll make something and I don't think it looks right. Like I'll make a picture,
yeah,
like I'll draw something and it's like it's supposed to look like this, but it doesn't look like that in my eyes. kind of thing.
Yeah, well, that's the same with anyone that has a creative mind, right?
Hmm.
Going through anything, but
Yeah,
you know,
like the
it's all
Extra Life video. I thought it was going to be way different from how it turned out. It kind of
that's
like that's how it
always gonna
is.
happen.
Yeah, that's always going to happen, and I hate that because it's like I want it to be perfect, but I don't want to be a hard ass, and I don't want to be like, hey, step the fuck up. We need to stop being lazy. It's like I don't want to do that. I want to be like, cool, let's have fun with it, but also listen the fuck to me because I have authority here and I know exactly how this is gonna work and I know how it's gonna be. And if you mess up, I'll kill you. Like that.
So
That's
you're gonna be a very anal teacher then.
I'm a very well. You know what?
Black and white. There's no gray.
This no. There's definitely some gray. Like I even with me, I used to be a black and white guard, but now I'm like a gray guard, mostly because I just don't give a fuck anymore. You know what that you know what I mean by that, right?
Not when it comes to being a lifeguard. No,
So like
I thought it's either you're drowning or you're not.
well, there's like very, very like specific rules. It's like, hey,
Oh,
you're like not allowed to sit in the leisure pool while your kid's going down the water slide. But parents are really good about watching their kids when they go down the water slide. So I'm like, I don't fucking care.
oh,
Or
that's
like
okay.
a
But
parent,
following those specific rules.
yeah, it's not like,
Oh.
hey, you're running,
If it's
it's
not life
fine.
or death, who cares?
Yeah, exactly right. But it's like some people are like really, really anal about that stuff. They're like, hey, you need to make sure that you're telling all people they need to take their shoes off. It's like they're wearing sandals and it's cleaner than our shoes. Like they're doing us a favor. They're picking up the mud we're leaving. But if somebody like is walking in military boots and they have like mud all over the ground, it's like, yeah, no, out.
Yeah.
Sorry. Or if someone's drunk off their ass, which has happened before. It has happened before. Someone drunk has come into the pool because he got fired from his job and stuff like that. And he wasn't having a good time, so he got drunk and went to the pool. So they had to ask him to leave, and the cops showed up, and it was like, it was a whole event. Like,
That sounds fun.
oh, dude, yeah, there's a ton of pool stories. I'd love to get into those one day on the
Yeah.
podcast. Just like, yeah, there was one day where I got to yell at my boss. That was a lot of fun.
So save that for next time.
Yeah, exactly. Save that for next time. And because it's an easy transition, I think that's gonna do it for us today on the M3
Yeah.
podcast.
Let
Beautiful.
let Jayden know what this tattoo, what this logo is.
Rise against.
There you go. Hey,
Uh,
you should know it. It's how we met. Goddamn.
I know, I know. It's my brain. My brain doesn't work sometimes.
But
It's still on sleepy brain mode. Forgive me.
give let's say give a comment into what is it, Discord, for what color
Yeah.
your
Check our
hair should be
Discord.
dyed.
Yeah.
Check out the Discord. Jayden will have it linked in the bottom there.
Hmm.
What do you guys think of the Modern Warfare? Is it too Battlefield E? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is Ground War better or worse than Blackout? What do you guys think? Make sure to
Easily,
let
it's
us
better than
know.
Blackout. That's not even an option.
Give us your opinions on the new Call of Duty and what you guys thought about it, and
No
if
wrong
you-
opinions though.
Yeah, exactly.
No
If
wrong
you're having
opinions are
fun.
allowed.
Hey, your opinion is wrong. So
Hey, no, it's not. Wait, you like Blackout more than Ground War?
no.
Or are you talking about Modern Warfare in general? Oh, okay.
Modern Warfare in general.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad
Um,
game by any means. I just don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. Fair enough. And that's it. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
We're gonna try to get back onto this regularly. Hope you guys are doing well and have a fantastic day.
I will let you know when my democracy. That's not the word I'm looking for.
When your democracy kicks in.
when my democracy. When my
Documentary.
documentary is done. Hopefully, it will, and where to see it if I end up actually putting it anywhere other than just for a school assignment.
YouTube. Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you like this podcast, make sure to like and subscribe for more, and make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Links will be in the description.